or Boros Feather. Feather here is feather redeemed. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature you control, instead of it putting it in the graveyard, you exile it, and then it eventually comes back to your hand. So we played this card along with effects like Defiant Strike, God's Willing, and one of the key cards here that makes this deck so powerful is Reckless Rage. What Reckless Rage with Feather is a repeatable removal spell that's incredibly efficient. Dealing 4 damage for 1 mana is huge. We also have Titan Strength as a pump spell here, and then Boros Charm is incredibly sweet in this format. It can just deal 4 damage to your opponent. It can make your things indestructible to protect them from removal or sweepers, and it can also give something Double Strike. When you use the Double Strike mode on this card with Feather out, you get a repeated Double Strike effect. We've also got a pair. I'm not convinced that this one's worth playing, but there's 2 of them in here to be cheeky, so I want to give them a try. We have Invigorated Rampage. Gives a creature 4/0 in trample, or 2 creatures 2/0 in trample. Hey, Chaos, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, Storm deck was sweet. We'll probably do that one again at some point in the future. All right, for people that have seen this deck in Standard and Historic, the big upgrade that we get moving to Pioneer for this deck is this 1-drop here. Favored Hoplite is very similar to 10th District Legionnaire, only instead of scrying, it prevents damage that we dealt to till end of turn, so we can target this and make it bigger slowly. So Favored Hoplite and 10th District Legionnaire are other payoffs for our targeting cards when we don't have Feather, and they're absurd with Feather. So without further ado, let's dive on into a Pioneer League here with this one and see how it goes. Hey, D-Thrash, thanks for the half year. I appreciate that. Just finished watching Green Black Oven Historic on YouTube, and wow, looking forward to the Pioneer variation. Me too, Ziggs. Interested to see if it can be competitive here. One of the big cards I added for the Pioneer build that we're actually going to have in Historic soon is I've got some Gray Merchants in the Pioneer build we're going to play later today. Pepperidge Farms, did you remember to resub this month? Pepperidge Farm remembered. Thanks for the 10 months, Pepperidge. Easy mulligan here with no white source. This hand's great. I'm going to bottom the second Hoplite. Perfect. It's curve 1, 2, 3. So Vintage is Legacy, but with more turn 1 kills. So for people who are new to Legacy, I would like to make it very clear to you that the Storm deck we were just playing is not the norm for Legacy decks. Generally speaking, Legacy tends to have a lot of variety in it, and a lot of the decks that are good in Legacy tend to be slow and controlling decks. So I think I'm going to attack here, and then we'll just double strike this to kill their thing if they want to block, but I think there's a good chance it's a free 1 point of damage. Because any spell that targets this lets us eat their thing here. Sure, I think I'm fine just using this as a removal spell. Would love to draw Reckless Rage. They ate my Boros Charm. Weird. Yeah, okay, so Defiant Strike's absurd here. Their deck probably can't kill Feather outside of, like, Voracious Hydra. So, if Feather with Defiant Strike gets left unchecked, it's a real good. Like a Reckless Rage away from taking this game and putting them in the garbage can. Yeah, but, like, eating my thing there means they took a hit. So, like, they could have eaten my thing later if I played Arcanist. A wise person once said, modern is what new players assume Legacy is. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Wait, what? Oh, I guess this can't kill Feather? I was like, wait, why are you killing my Hoplite, not my Feather? So not blocking here, because they can make this 2/2 bigger. Oh, you're right. They could have killed Feather, huh? Yeah, that's weird. Seems like a mistake on their part. Maybe they just missed it. I definitely missed that. So it's very possible they just missed it. Yeah, they could have just been undervaluing how important Feather is. If our opponent's not played against Feather in Standard, they could be underestimating how powerful this card's about to be. So we're going to take 9 here inside of combat. It's a big chunk. I guess I could God's Willing and not take 5. Do I block pay 4 or do I God's Willing and... So like, if I don't God's Willing, I get to strike and draw a card. So is paying 4 life worth drawing a card over scrying? I feel like it's not. I think I'm just going to block and God's Willing. Because like, I really just need Defiant Strike at this point, right? Whoa! Free sack outlet is a huge deal in Standard and Historic. Did I not post a link? I totally forgot to post a link. It'll be up later. Sorry, I worked for like 12 hours yesterday. I must have forgotten. So now the question is, do I want to scry during my upkeep with the God's Willing? What could I draw that makes me sad for scrying during my upkeep? I think it's right to scry. I think I just want the most shots at finding Reckless Rage. They have a Galta or Super did. Arena segment will start in approximately 3 hours. As always, if you're ever wondering what I'm playing when, you can always check my schedule on my website. So I'm getting back a God's Willing and a Defiant Strike here. I think I just hope they don't have Galta. It's gonna pass. So whatever they play here gets haste. Vomit. Oh, that's brutal. All right. I can draw Reckless Rage here, right? So I can God's Willing, Feather, Scry, Defiant Strike, Feather. So I get 2 shots at Reckless Rage here. Swing and a miss. So, dead. Yeah, you're not wrong, Trey. You're not wrong. All right, huh? What do I want to do here? So let's do prevent 3 damage to be dealt to any target this turn. You gain 3 life. Healing Grace might be good enough. I feel like Bonecrusher Giant's probably fine. They played a 2-drop that it kills. It kills Land War Elves. It trades in combat with their X4s. Maybe they don't have enough X4s for that to be relevant. You want Abrades? Abrade doesn't really kill most of their stuff, right? I think I'm in for Bonecrusher. I think Rampage probably isn't very good. I kind of think Healing Grace might be okay. This can blow out a Domri's Ambush. I'm gonna do this. Be a little bit more efficient than Boros Charm. Less aggressive, more efficient. I feel like this is a matchup where we're frequently going to assume a more controlling role. I just got done with the Green Black Oven video. I need a cigarette. It's really good. Well, we're playing Boros Gates, but the spells are really good, so I think I'm keeping this. Just as a general statement, I've had people ask me over the last week or two. I've had a couple why they were blocked on my Twitter account. I basically block anything on Twitter that I would time out here in Twitch chat, just because life is short. Life is short, and I don't have time to engage with a lot of it. There's a lot of people out in the world. If you're a sub and I've blocked you on some sort of social media, send me your name and I'm happy to unblock you. There are a lot of people who don't post rude things to me that I block that are just kind of lazy. And I block anyways, just because, again, life is short. So happy to unblock anybody that supports my stuff. All right, well, you know, that could have gone better. I guess I have the Arcanist to flash this back eventually, so it's not too big of a deal. We'll just pass back here. I have another Rage in my hand too. One of the things that's nice is Feather plus Arcanist works the way we want. it's not even like meme type stuff. Like, memes are often funny. It's mostly just like when, like, the type of stuff that we talk about not being acceptable here, right? Like people telling me I'm wrong and not providing any reason for why I'm wrong. I also, and this is a good thing, if you've ever needed to like manage Twitter aggressively before, something I frequently do is chain blocking. And for those that haven't used Twitter, what chain blocking refers to is if someone tweets something especially stupid at me, I don't just block the person that tweeted the stupid thing at me, I block everyone that liked their stupid tweet as well. So feel free to keep that in mind. I think I'm going to go ahead and rage a Mystic at the end of the turn. For the upcoming Emery Cat deck, I think playing Blood for Bones goes further in the deck than a Gargoyles. Maybe. Yeah, that's Slam In. Thanks for the 7 months. Your likes really do matter. When you like something on social media, you are giving your support to the message that you are liking. Alright, so let's Reckless Rage. An Elvish Mystic and this Feather. I accidentally had pineapple pizza over the break and it was pretty good. Pineapple is great. I love that. Hey, it was actually pretty good. Listen, mods. I would like the mods to know that if you time out someone based on their pineapple on pizza being good opinion, that's a declaration of war on me. So you better watch out. PB&J is technically sweet and savory. It really is, isn't it? This game's very over. Like, these creature decks just can't beat the Feather Reckless Rage machine gun. Reckless Rage. Some things die while others feel the pain. Reckless Rage. Reckless Rage has good song value too. The song EV on Reckless Rage is high. Alfredo sauce pizza. I think Alfredo sauce pizza is fine. I do a lot of, I frequently get barbecue sauce pizza with pineapple. Like pizza crust, barbecue sauce, cheese, and pineapple on top. That's my preferred pineapple. For those who aren't aware, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't do chicken. No problem with those that do, but I personally am not a fan of chicken. See what feta. Yeah, feta's good. You're not wrong. So, depending, if I don't draw another threat next turn, this is probably going to be a hand where I wait to deploy Arcanist on 3. So that way I can play it with protection up. You should always use protection, chat. If you don't use protection, you could end up with Declan. I didn't say ending up with Declan was a bad thing. I'm just saying it's factually correct that if you don't use protection, you could end up with Declan. Declan's great. He's my favorite 4-year-old in the whole wide world. Chrissy is not a vegetarian. Ooh, Hoplite's pretty good. I think I'd actually rather Hoplite. Actually, that's not true. I want to get Arcanist down so that way I can start flashing these things back. We don't have a Feather, but Hoplite plus Reckless Rage plus Arcanist is gonna give our opponent a run for their money next turn. How do you manage a balanced diet when your wife is a vegetarian? When I'm a vegetarian and my wife isn't? Mostly we eat out a lot. That's the honest answer. All right, so I think I Reckless Rage at end of turn here to get a Blossoming Defense out of their hand. Wow, that just worked. Okay, I honestly wasn't prepared for that to just work. So I think I'm gonna strike this and then attack and flash back strike on it and generate some cards here. Hold up Reckless Rage plus God's Willing this turn. Get a lot of threats going. Looking to buying into Standard and Arena soon, would you just be buying 20k gems and buying lots of packs? Yeah, definitely, Reese. Just buying a bunch of booster packs, definitely correct. With the new set coming up soon, if you can wait till the new set comes out, probably just like split the packs you buy between the new set and Eldraine, just because those are gonna wait the longest to rotate out. If your interest is only in Standard, buying Eldraine and Theros makes the most sense. If you think you're interested in potentially playing Historic, if your goal is to buy in to play Historic, I think playing Historic, you're better off buying sets with Shocklands. But if your goal is Standard, I'd recommend buying the latest sets. Because the latest sets will be legal in Standard for the longest. They don't rotate for like almost 2 years. Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to have been more aggressive with these Reckless Rages and killing these Elvish Mystics. I would assume we're getting the other half of the temples in Theros. That's the last time we were in Theros. That's when all the temples were printed. They haven't officially said yet, but I would bet a safe bet is we're getting the rest of the temples. So our hope here is to draw a copy of Feather next turn so we can start flashing back these rages and have them in our hand. This would be ideal. Another Dreadhorde. I think I'm just attacking for 5 here and not flashing back any rages. So like I can target this and just choose not to flash it back. So I want to give myself the chance to draw a Feather, and they don't really have anything worth killing just yet. Yeah, there were fake spoilers of fetch lands going around. That was a fake spoiler. God's Willing can only target creatures we control. Oh, that's kind of scary. They get a Sirach here. I guess whatever they'll probably get Questing Beast so they can attack with haste. Whatever they're getting is gonna die to Reckless Rage next turn. I guess Sirach also gets haste and attacks here. So they have Formidable. Well, if the rest of my opponent's hand is dog poop, we might have a shot here. If their hand has more action in it, we're probably dead. So they get to eat one of my... They get to eat one of my Arcanists here, but I think that's fine. Maybe I'm just supposed to flash back the other Reckless Rage so I can get the most damage here. Yeah, this might be wrong. It might be right to flash back the Rage on an Elf here, so I just crack them. Yeah, actually, I think I did this incorrectly. If I had hit them with this Reckless Rage and killed this, they'd have taken 6 down to 7, and then I'd have lethal with the God's Willing next turn, right? So I actually made a pretty big mistake here. I think that was very, very wrong on my part. Dragon Lord Atarka. Yep. If this finds a Boros Charm, we win the game. Feather. I don't think that's good enough, right? Like, I have to kill them next turn. If I'd have played this game more aggressively, I'd kill them next turn. But I didn't, so I can't. I think I have to bottom this. Titan Strength, Boros Charm, and Invigorated Rampage and Defiant Strike all kill them next turn. I think I'm supposed to bottom this and hope for one of my things that kills them. So, like, if I draw any card that gives me extra attack or double strike, I attack with both and give this unblockable by flashing back God's Willing. I think I have to bottom that. And again, I would have won this game had I been more aggressive last turn. We'd have killed them this coming turn. Sick. All right. I think that's a good example of playing to win versus playing to not lose. I did make a mistake. I misassessed my roll a little bit, but we then after misassessing my roll, I then played to my outs appropriately, and we're gonna get there. So we'll give this pro green, and they won't be able to block it, and they'll take 14. Not bad. We actually played Mardu Feather in Historic. Somewhat recently. Oh yeah, we can also Boros Charm their face, sure. A lot of right ways to eat that resist. Double strike was more damage, technically. Possible in Pioneer? No, I don't think I'd play Mardu again. The Mardu build we played didn't feel very competitive in Historic, and I don't think black really adds value in Pioneer. This hand's great. Needs a couple more lands eventually, but the spells are good. Hey, look, I was just about to say, look, more green cards. This is the best card in Pioneer as long as it's legal, I think. I think as long as these 1-mana green accelerants are legal in Pioneer, they're going to be the best cards in the format. Okay, Radiant Fountain implies they're playing the more traditional, they're playing the more land-based green ramp as opposed to the devotion-based build. Oh, you know what? I should have done this during my upkeep, so that way I could have scryed, because I could have found a land here. Alright, wouldn't have found a land anyways. Hashtag never lucky. Hey, turn 3 Karn Daddy. Don't get to watch the stream as much as I have these days, but I always catch on YouTube. Well, thanks for keeping me around making YouTube stuff. I appreciate the support. Sweet. I might just God's Willing at the end of turn here to pump this up. We can deal lethal next turn, right? If we God's Willing this up to a 4, next turn we can God's Willing plus double strike it. Oh, you know what? I should wait because they could have Spatial Contortion. Spatial Contortion's a reason to wait. They play that card. Yeah, Spatial Contortion doesn't get countered by gods. Well, so Spatial Contortion gets countered by giving this a +1/+1 counter. So Spatial Contortion gives -3 defense. So God's Willing doesn't strictly protect from it, but in a roundabout way it does. So good clean turn 5 lethal here. Against this archetype ramp, I just want my extra threats here. Rabblemaster is a good way to close out ASAP. God's Willing's actually a card we probably cut here, huh? Like, it's okay for some combat tricks, but I feel like I trim Willing and trim a Reckless Rage. Submitted a deck for the first time last night. Not familiar with how things work. Is there a specific time of day? Yeah, usually I review things right after the stream is done. Although I did review late last night. Actually, I'm looking at my sheet now. I sent you an email back already. J Ford. Usually it's pretty quick. Especially, normally the turnaround's not that instantaneous when the kids are home, but with me, I'm basically just like working and eating for the next week, so. Yeah, God's Willing does help us with Unblockable. Maybe I want to split the other way, have 3 Willing, 2 Reckless Rage. Reckless Rage isn't particularly good here. I'd be surprised if something around this card's not playable in Pioneer Cinnabar. This archetype's been very good in both Standard, before rotation, and in Historic, and Pioneer's pretty close to those. Easy mulligan here, no threats. Yeah, this is keep. I think I'm gonna bottom the God's Willing. No sleep this week. I'm basically working, eating, gym, and sleeping. Watching a little bit of Netflix on the in-between. Mostly watching while I eat though, so I'm not sure if that counts. I think a new format every decade is fine. I think that's probably an appropriate rate. One new format per decade. Get swole. I don't know about that. I mostly go to the gym because I want to be able to chase my children around without feeling like I'm going to have a heart attack. I go to the gym to like maintain my weight, not lose weight. just want to, like, eat mostly whatever I want to eat and, like, not feel like I'm going to die because of it. I feel kind of silly being in this giant house by myself. Although it is nice when I clean something up that it's gonna stay clean for a week. That's a nice upside. That definitely doesn't always happen. Do we have lethal next turn? This is +4, this is +1. Not quite, but close. If we'd have hit a 1-mana pump spell there, like hit another Titan Strength, we might have killed them. We're out of water, chat. Need to run and fill that up. Alright, that should be lethal, right? Suppose they could have a fog. Wow! Us having another card here really makes this backfire, because now they just die. Because Spatial gives this 3 extra attack. Thanks, bro. Kill you. This is my 11-3. Nice, not Lightning Strike. Oh. Nice, your card. Things that card is not. Lightning Strike. All right, I'm gonna run and fill my water bottle really quick. I'll be right back. Didn't even miss anything. Who knew filling your water bottle was a skill game? Saying sick. Need some lands, but very good otherwise. So, I think we just play Arcanist here. That's the plan. Say go. This lets me double rage next turn, potentially. We don't know, Kami Pizza. Could be a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Yeah, definitely, JP. Anytime you donate $1 or more or cheer 100 or more bits, you can just say, hey, please apply this to whatever deck you want in the queue. So I think I'm actually going to shock in this and then play the list of 4-color historic Dreadhorde. Will do, Beansy. Thanks for the support. I think I just pass here. I could Arcanist flashback Reckless Rage, but I don't want to do that because when I flash this back, I want Feather to be in play so it can come back to my hand and I can use it again. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. We're going to assume a little bit more controlling role with how we're set up for right now. So if we draw a land next turn, we're just going to, like, end their whole career. Untapped land specifically. Proxytron, thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, if you wanted to cut Blue-Red Eldrazi to be the next step, that would be more than fine. Sunayemi. I'm going to attack with both of these. I'm going to lose my Dreadhorde Arcanist here in combat, but that's fine, so I'm going to get the Reckless Rage back. So I'm going to go ahead and go kill the Constrictor, target this. To cut decks in, it's a larger donation. So Beansy just gave 1,500. So if you wanted to cut Eldrazi into today, it would be another 3,500 bits or $35 donated. It is a more of a premium to cut decks into my schedule that's already planned because I prepare all my decks in advance. So, as always, much cheaper to get something played tomorrow than it is to cut it into today. So always costs less to wait a little bit. That's super unfortunate. All right, so what's the plan here? So I can go Reckless Rage this. Reckless Rage is going to come back during my end step. So now I'll send these two at Vivian. And then the Reckless Rage is going to come back at the end of my turn, which will let us cast it again to kill the Winding Constrictor. And this will come back again at the end of my opponent's turn. Seasons Pass for Pioneer. Sounds good, old Bayray. Get that added in at the end today. Sure. Again, this game's been a really good example of how our deck's able to assume a controlling role really nicely. If they have a Fatal Push or an Abrupt Decay here, we're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. But if they don't have either of that, the game is done and they lose. Yeah. Sweet. Alright, Abrade seems good here. Kills snakes, kills their artifacts that they likely have. If you're gonna play Legacy Storm, you might want more practice. Would it be the same number for next time? Nah, I'd do it half for next time, Fox. That deck was gasoline. Vanguard's probably not particularly good against their Walking Ballista deck. Healing Grace is probably good here, right? They're pretty aggressive. Boros Charm. I think I'd rather have Healing Grace than Boros Charm here. Again, I feel like this is a matchup where we're assuming a more defensive role. Let's try this. I think I prefer Invigorated Rampage to Boros Charm in this matchup, just because they can often have chump blockers. Excellent Hearthstone hand. Unfortunately, this is Magic, so we need to draw some lands. So let's play Catch and Release here. This hand's fine. We'll bottom the Boros Charm here. Speaking of gasoline, the crazy Bat Cat Lady deck from yesterday evening was fun to play. Won 5 of the 6 matches with it. Nice. Probably just abrading this, huh? Lets me wait to play 10th District Legionnaire with Healing Grace up. Let's kill this in response, so that way this doesn't get 1/1 counters from it. We take 2 here, but that's fine. Is Vanifear a thing in Pioneer? Not as of yet. It's not something that's really been worked on. Play this and pass. Healing Grace lets us play defense okay here. That's pretty scary. So, I get to go, if I block this, just so I understand this card, for the next 3 damage will be dealt to any target this turn by a sorcery of your choice. So, I can say prevent 3 that's going to be dealt from this to this, and then this will be a 3/3. So this'll survive with the Healing Grace. Doesn't really matter which one I block. So I target this, and then when it resolves, I'll pick what I'm preventing damage from. We'll bottom that land. So I gain 3. This lives with 2 damage marked on it. Sweet. Hoping to draw a Reckless Rage next turn. Well, you know. Up all night to be lucky. Do 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 do. Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. Hashtag sometimes lucky. Let's kill their Nissa. And then, like, all they have left here is Experiment 1. This stream was pre-recorded in front of a live studio audience. All right, so they can regenerate this by removing 2 counters from it. But that's fine, because once it's a 3/3, we can kill it with... Oh! Oh! Okie doke. So they need to draw a removal spell for Arcanist this turn, and this game is over. The game was probably already over, but it's like really over if they don't find a removal spell. They're probably thinking that's a pretty good draw. And it was a pretty good draw, but it's not better than mine. It's not better than mine. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna throw away our Dreadhorde Arcanist. We're gonna go ahead and attack, because throwing it away rebuys this Reckless Rage. Some things die while others feel the pain. Reckless Rage. So we'll run back the trick where we do 4 to the Stone Coil Serpent now. We get the Reckless Rage back at end of turn. We cast it again at end of turn and finish off the Stone Coil Serpent. So they'll get to eat this, but we're going to kill their Serpent here. And then, like, our 10th District Legionnaire is going to be Xbox huge at this point, and they're not going to have a reach creature to kill this feather. We get a couple of scries while this is going too. So shoot this. And, like, even if they draw a way to kill our feather, like, we still have Reckless Rage and a Giant Legionnaire and a Dreadhorde Arcanist. I'll buy that one for $1. Sign me up. We used to always say that growing up. I feel like that's a reference kids probably won't get these days. That's something like my friend group always said. That was always the joke. Something was Xbox huge. the OG Xbox was not a small device. All right, are we 3-0? We are undefeated. All right, Fox, all your decks are great. Fox is in charge of submitting the good decks from now on. This is a good, we needed this after the rough day we had the other day. We were like 0-8 at one point. Yeah, I've got, there's actually a Naya Feather deck for Pioneer in the deck queue, so I'm interested to see how that feels versus this. The big upgrade with Naya is Blossoming Defense over Titan Strength, which is a negligible change in a lot of matchups. Yes, we will be playing Historic tomorrow. My plan for the time being, Historic and Standard ranked equally as popular in the sub-survey. So just going to alternate those back and forth this week. With Theros coming out, when Standard, when the new set drops, we'll probably do more Standard than anything else. So the week before the new set release, we'll probably do just Pioneer and Historic to kind of balance it out. Although I guess I have that stupid MCQ tournament I need to play Standard for. Ooh, Invigorated Rampage is going to be busted next turn. We're going to get to go give both of these 2-0 flashback. Give both of them 2-0 again. Yeah, the Naya deck is in the queue. Plays Shiroka's command. So we'll see. I'll sit down and look at my schedule, and as always, I'll post my schedule at the start of the week. I think Standard's okay. Like, there's a reason why people doing Standard are still getting good numbers. I know some people are spent on it, but there's definitely an audience for it. So, while it doesn't appeal to everyone, it definitely hits a number of people that aren't otherwise interested in non-rotating formats. So, we'll probably do a bit less. Like, the week before, maybe we'll do like 3 days of Standard, or 2 days of Standard, 3 days of Historic. We'll see. Need to play green for? I don't know about needing to play green. Both Jeskai, Fires, and Mardu. Mardu Knights are pretty good right now. Are there any infinite creature-only combos in Pioneer? I don't think so. That's not true. There's this really weird Eldrazi Displacer combo you can do. We're playing against the Lotus Field deck, okay? So this gives 2 of our creatures +2 attack and trample till end of turn, which gives the Dreadhorde Arcanist enough power to flash back Invigorated Rampage here. To target both of these again. This is going to be 7, this is going to be 5. We'll hit them for 12 here. And then next turn they die to this Boros Charm plus an attack. Good clean turn 4 lethal here potentially. Ain't nobody got time for you, Boreal Grazer. I said, ain't nobody got time for you, a Boreal Grazer. Reckless Rage. Some things die while others feel the pain. Reckless Rage. This game was a really good example of the linear power this deck has to offer. Just like turn 4 kill through a pair of blockers here. Crunch. I believe turn 4 is our fastest kill. I would be surprised if we have a goldfish that kills before turn 4. All right, so does God's Willing have text against this Twiddlestorm deck? I feel like it probably doesn't, huh? Do they play removal? A lot of them don't play actual removal, right? I think this is the cut. They play Anger in the side, do they? This one's got Fry. A lot of them have Fry, which is relevant against us. It does cut through blockers too. Yeah, I think I want the Rabblemasters. I don't know what I really want to cut. Cutting a pair of Reckless Rages is probably fine. Killing blockers is relevant sometimes, but not always. You get 2 decks of the day if this 5-0s, probably. This is probably going to be tagged as a favorite already as is. Cutting Reckless Rage means you get to sing less often. It's very true. I like that suggestion. Cutting a feather. We're bringing in 3 Rabblemasters anyway, so it's like more 3-drops. I like that. I like that recommendation. This isn't super exciting, but I think it's fine. Like Boros Charm them on 2, Rabblemaster on 3. Last one's pretty good. Yes, I think this card's much better than Legion Warboss. Rabblemaster and Legion Warboss are only cards that tend to be good when your opponent's side of the board is very empty, and Rabblemaster kills much faster than Legion Warboss does on an empty board. Like, sit there and do the math. how much damage each of them do per turn if your opponent's not interacting with either of them, and Rabblemaster adds up faster. Hey, Quiet Kieran, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Quiet Kieran has been subbed for 7 months and has literally never sent a message in chat. Living up to the username. I appreciate the support. Hope you're having a wonderful end of your year. I guess that's fair. If I draw a land, I can play this and then like strike plus Titan Strength kills them. Yeah, maybe I am supposed to sit on it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sit on it. I think that's good advice. Good suggestion. Feels magic, man. Feels magic, man. I mean, my keep was gonna kill them on like the 4th or 5th turn. So like, my deck doesn't frequently kill before turn 4 or 5. So like, I think you're mistaken how fast my deck can kill. Like, some of the times, the correct answer in Magic is clench your butt cheeks and hope your opponent doesn't have their nut draw. I don't think I mulligan to hands that kill that much faster than this. Upkeep Scry with Strength. No, I don't think so, because if I draw the 3rd land natural, I want to cast Rabblemaster this turn. I mean, there's a good chance we die this turn or next turn, but again, I don't really have draws that help prevent that. Alright, I'm gonna concede. Oh, I guess I could bottom this and draw land. It's not Azorius Charm. Thanks for the 1.5 Rain Spider and the Ziggs, checking in for 18 months as well. Hope you all are having wonderful ends of your year. Alright, so we're hoping to draw a red source next turn. We could just die here. Do I have lethal if we don't die here? This is attacking for 7, 14, 15, 16. I assume we're dead here. Their hand has to be really bad for us to not be dead, because we can't kill them on 5, which means we're not killing them till 6, and we're pretty unlikely to get a 6. Ancient Adventures can be played in Pioneer. I mean, the adventure creatures are super playable in Pioneer. If you're referring to, like, building, like the Adventure Knights deck, yeah, maybe. I could see that being okay. Adventure Knights would be a deck that I'd be willing to port to this format. I think what that deck is doing on a raw power level is probably strong enough. Yeah, the opponent's playing one of the established decks in the format. They're a deck that utilizes Lotus Field and Thespian Stage along with the card Pour over the pages to generate a lot of mana. And then eventually kill you in some very fancy way. I still don't know what that means, Arison. So as always, if you'd like to submit a deck to be played here, put it through the form on the site. If you just want to talk about decks, I'd recommend posting specifics in the subs Discord. Yeah, I've always been someone who's comfortable in front of people. I did a lot of community theater growing up, which wasn't quite to 1,000 people, but the theater that we the theater that I grew up doing stuff in had like a 400 seat auditorium. Also spent plenty of time teaching. So like my education background is I have a math degree, and I've done some teaching. So they double cast to double pour over the pages here. So this is how their deck gets going. They get to draw 3 cards, discard a card, untap 2 lands. So this nets them a bunch of mana. Yeah, Kisa's was a hoot. It was the deck of the day. It was the Pioneer deck of the day. Yeah, actual factual twiddle is not legal. I call that good enough. Let's try and win a game on the play here. How's the OP deck win? I don't know. Look it up. Eventually they do something and we die. I think it usually involves Omniscience, if I recall correctly, but... I think I'm actually going to keep this, even though it's not particularly stellar, because I think just going 1-drop, 2-drop is really good here. We have a lot of draws from here that make this hand very reasonable. Man, I'm glad we had good decks today. I started a new Invisalign tray last night. It's easier to stay upbeat when the decks don't suck. Because good golly, does my mouth hurt right now? You find yourself making different play decisions with using computer software to play Magic as opposed to when you play paper. Occasionally. You'll occasionally hear me say, like, I'm doing something at a technically inopportune time to, like, maximize auto pass value, but those things are often pretty marginal. If I had an instant or sorcery lined up to Dreadhorde Arcanist already, I would play that on 2. But because I'd have to draw one, I'm just going to put the card with more power into play here. Yeah, my S's have a little bit more lispy than usual, but it's not too bad. We do have a Switch. The new Pokemon game was like one of the best-selling ones of all time, right? Water spells, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. No one ever accidentally F6 through their whole turn in Paper Magic. Yeah, but there's other mistakes you can make in Paper Magic that just aren't possible in digital. Hey, K Shuffles, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having a wonderful end of your year wherever you're at in the world. We did keep a land-heavy hand, so it's hard to be too upset here. What would we love to draw? Like Invigorated Rampage or Titan Strength would be great draws. This is a subscriber submitted deck. Yep, almost everything we play on this channel is a subscriber submitted deck shuffles. Occasionally people submit things and ask me to find my preferred builds of things, but I've definitely like missed my land drop in paper before, just like was like writing down their hand from a thought seize and like deep in the tank about what the correct decision was, and like made a decision and passed the turn without playing a land. I don't know if it's possible for this deck to turn 3-us, but I think we're about to find out. Well, you know, that wasn't a card I was playing around, and I'm just going to concede rather than continuing to play after I let that happen, so very possible that that game is winnable if I'm not. Just speaking of things that happen in Moto that don't happen in paper, speaking of F6ing, so I had my auto pass key while I was sitting there, and obviously could and should have saved the Vanguard. I actually have a Naya Feather build already in my deck queue shuffles. You want to take a peek there? If you want to see that Naya deck come up a little bit sooner, you can always donate or cheer or save up your shillings to bump it up. Yep. Yep, you look in the Pioneer section. The deck queue has the formats listed for all the decks in it. This is terrifying. We're probably going to get attacked for 6 on turn 2. Not really sure that that's beatable. Yep, so this makes the base creature a 5/5, so because this has a 1/1 counter on it, I think I start with this. If they have, like, anything else from here, we're probably just dead. Is Season of Growth too slow for the Naya version? Yeah, I think so. That's why it's not in there. Noted Dolomite. I mean, we're locked for a burrito, right? Yeah, we're 3-2, we're 3-1. Started 3-0. Moto won't let me scry? These people are great. Buy their stuff. Just restart this wonderful quality piece of software here really quick. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. You're having a wonderful end of year 2019. For those of you that got into Magic with the advent of Magic Arena, Magic Wizards has had quality software for a really long time. All right, now I can right-click on this. Before I was like right-clicking through it. It was like giving me this menu even though I was right-clicking on the land. Legacy was awesome. The Storm deck was really sweet. Don't we just die now? No, we're not dead on board. We're currently taking 6 and going to 2, but we're not dead on board. We're dead to a lot of things. We're dead to a stiff breeze, but we're not dead on board. Oh, I can't block. Yeah, they're protection. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're dead. We're dead regardless. You're right. All right, have a timeout for not telling me why I was dead on board. Remember, chat, the details are more important than being right. I don't care if you're right. Tell me why you're right. All right, so I think, again, we want this. Boros Charm seems probably medium. Invigorated Rampage, giving our things trample to trample over their protection things seems good. God's Willing's not stellar against their largely artifact deck. I probably just want a bunch of Bonecrusher Giants. Yeah, like, that's hard to beat, right? Like, the opponent's deck, we played against it a few times in recent memory, and, like, their average draw sucks, their nut draw is unbeatable, so they appeal to playing their deck. Like, when they attack with a 6/6 on turn 2 when they're on the play, you're just losing most of the time if you don't have removal for it. And our deck just doesn't have removal for that. Loud, talky men distributing in boxes, distributing swords. There's no system of government. Thanks for the 21 months extras. It's been a wild ride. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, that was about as good as their draw gets. And, like, the fact that they didn't make their second Serpent a 3/3 implies they probably had a stubborn denial, too. Yeah, this hand that we have here is very good, for sure. If we run off a couple of lands, this could be close to our nut draw. We're, like, a 1 drop away. Yeah, I think Abrade's better on average. The flexibility that Abrade has in the non-artifact matchups is a big deal. I don't know that there's enough enchantments in this format that I care about to make Wear Tear worth playing. Whereas, like, Abrade gets to come in anywhere I want creature removal. So, hoping to draw a white source here. We can drop Feather. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. I think I'm just passing. I think I'm just passing. Hey, thanks for the 3 months there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'd like to destroy that artifact, please. They can sack Hope in response to us casting a non-creature spell. However, it doesn't do anything. It just stops us from preventing future non-creature spells. Untapped white source. Sick. Alright, so this game's probably close to over here. Sure. So if they have a Stubborn Denial, they can counter this. I think I'm in for an Abrade. Abrade lets us kill this if they have Stubborn Denial. Hey, GGC. Thanks for that Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. MythGuardHub.com, I believe it is. It might not be .com. Definitely the website Mythguard Hub. Lets you search cards nicely. Would you like to trade your last card for 2 cards, opponent? You would. And because this still has the target of 10th District Legionnaire, it still gets to go away, which is nice. Opponent concedes because we've got the rat-a-tat-tat machine gun of Reckless Rage online. So they nut drew us game 1. We kind of nut drew them game 2. Hopefully we could be lucky and win game 3. Their deck tends to mulligan a lot because they have a lot of low quality cards, so. Yeah, probably Enya. They could have gotten 1 more card out of it. Good thing being on the play doesn't matter, right? Yikes. Yikes. Played versus the opponent's deck and they scooped to Petty Theft both games. Yeah, I mean, their deck, like, doesn't beat bounce spells. It's like 3 mana Teferi and Brazen Borrower both just slaughter them. Deck is very all in. I'm gonna keep this and bottom the extra Hoplite, I think. No removals here is scary. If they have a fast start like they did the first game, we're just gonna die. What are my preferred colors? We played a green-red Reanimator deck that felt pretty reasonable. It was a little bit more aggressively slanted. Okay, just Ghostfire Blade's not too bad. It's only an attack for 3. Attack for 3 is half of an attack for 6. Yeah, but 3 mana Teferi can bounce land still. Well, you know, here I am. Here I am. That was intentional. That's definitely the land I meant to play. Mistakes were made. It's okay. That's fine. It works out. I was actually, before I clicked the wrong land, I was going to mention it's debatable on whether or not we want to jam this right away or leave up a block plus a protection spell. Because, like, even if they counterspell this here, I still get this trigger. So, like, this damage is still being prevented. So my thing doesn't die here, which is great. And now I get to play Dreadhorde Arcanist with Healing Grace up as a protective spell for it. So, while I should have played the Sacred Foundry tapped there if I was going to go tapped land pass, I do think there's some merit to, like, potentially sequencing in the way I sequenced, only with the Shock land tapped instead of the Clifftop Retreat. I mean, it's just a good example of the power level of cards being contextual, Zaragast. So, like, just because something's playable in Standard or not, vice versa, like, doesn't mean it's necessarily good or bad in other formats. Hey, Fuzzy Thantos, thanks for the 18 months of support. I appreciate the 1.5 years. Welcome back. Dive down? Sure. Lotus Tray keeps you open. Darn gingerbread man. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and cycle this Defiant Strike here. Maybe I should have done that on my turn so I could have this blocker out already. Yeah, it's probably better. Alright, let's do this and let's just start attacking them here. So let's attack with both of these. We'll flash back. Reckless Rage. Kill their 3/3. Make this bigger. I would be surprised if Sidisi Whip is competitive in this format. 4 mana cards that don't really impact the board are not very competitive. This 5/6, especially on the back of Healing Grace, is potentially very good. Gonna be tough to race. Wow, they discarded 2 skilled animators to draw a random there. That's aggressive. All right, so they're at 12. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is this lethal? Right, let's just count that again. This is 6, 7, and this is 4, and this is 1. So they're dead, right? Is that right? I feel like that's right. 6, 7, 8, 12. Math checks out to me. So we 4-1'd this league, with the one loss being me conceding a game 3 where I accidentally F6 through letting my Adanto Vanguard die to a sweeper. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. Sweet. All right. Yeah, I don't know that I have any changes. I feel like what we did was like pretty reasonable overall. Sideboard's definitely a huge moving target as far as like what you're expecting to beat and what you're expecting to play against. Abrade was really good. Healing Grace overperformed. We brought this card in multiple aggressive matchups, and like we didn't even play against mono red where this card just like dumpsters mono red, and it was still very, very reasonable. It felt like the mix of stuff was good. Maybe 21 lands is greedy, but our curve's pretty low and we do some scrying anyways. I think it's probably fine. I think I like this configuration. Invigorated Rampage was really sweet more than once. Like the turn 1 Hoplite, turn 2 Arcanist, turn 3 double Rampage kills really quickly. Which is nice. So yeah, I think I'll probably put this one up on the website. We're gonna try Naya Feather too, and we've tried some other builds. I think this is an archetype that's really sweet. I already have artwork done that I can steal from when the deck was in Standard. A bump for Grixis Dragons in Historic. Thank you for the biddies, Jace. I appreciate it. Alright, so what are we doing? I've got to get cards for the next deck before we can play. So there's going to be a couple minute break, and when we get back, we're going to be playing some green-black Oven Traila Crumbs here in, what's it called? In Pioneer. So back in a few. We did try Jeskai Feather